Burnout. Burnout, in a very common context, according to the Oxford Dictionary, refers to the reduction of a substance to nothing through use or combustion. Relating this to our physical lives, to get things done, generally we need energy, zeal, drive, motivation, or whatever we want to name it. These are the currencies we use in the trade for success or achieving the goals we want. The truth is, at any point in time, we can run out of these, and this can lead to a lot of different scenarios and outcomes. In this video, I'll be talking about how we can avoid burnout generally in life and especially in school and medical school in the college. Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Samuel, a third year medical student currently studying in Rostov State Medical University. And on this channel, we'll talk about how to be more productive, how to study effectively, and generally my life as a medical student. And so if you're up for topics like this and you're interested in seeing more videos on these topics, then do consider dropping a like to this video and also subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any video that comes out whenever I upload. As a medical student or a creative that I am, burnout is something I fight with every now and then, and eventually in this video we'll come to realize the fact that it's not actually that bad. It's not actually bad to experience burnout at some point, but it's best for us to reduce the frequency or the rate at which they occur. In my last video, if you haven't watched, I'll obviously encourage you to watch. I'll drop the link up there or up there, wherever. And I actually was talking about something. I made an intro and I was saying some things at the intro which actually seemed like I was joking, but thinking about it, I have genuinely felt like that at some point in time in my medical journey, or in my journey as a self-taught programmer, or in my journey as a medical student. And I know some of us also probably will feel that way when you're in school, or probably whatever you're doing in your life. At a time, someone writes me, they need a flyer design very quickly. At another time, I have a video to edit. At another time, there are meetings for me to attend. At some other time, there are deadlines to meet in school. There are a lot of knowledge to acquire to be the best medical doctor I can actually be. Being in this situation, we realize that I'll probably run out of the currency that I actually need to keep me in this transaction of achieving my goals or achieving success. And so as a medical student and someone who really loves research, I've made research on how we can actually reduce the rate of burnout and also keep the level of our productivity fairly stable at every point in time. First, before I actually go into listing the steps to actually make us avoid burnout, I'd like to introduce something which might be interesting to non-medical students or even medical students, which is actually something that plays an important role in experiencing burnout and all of these things. And it is serotonin. Serotonin is a chemical substance that is a neurotransmitter, and a neurotransmitter is something that helps nerve cells communicate with each other. It helps in determining our mood and other things that eventually come out as symptoms of burnout. Adequate amount of serotonin help nerve cells to actively communicate between each other, and low amount of serotonin also lead to low communication between nerve cells, and in worst cases, very low amount of serotonin has been actually proven to lead to depression, which is actually an extreme case of probably burnout. In all this, we're trying to keep our nerve cells actively communicating with each other, a fairly stable amount or fairly stable level of serotonin in our body, and this is actually what keeps us going in the game, what keeps us going in the journey. And this can be achieved in so many different ways. The first way to avoid burnout is to subscribe to Variety or subscribe to this channel. Okay, perhaps you do one first, subscribe to this channel and then to Variety. Okay. I'll encourage variety in our lives because as humans, there's something called a principle of diminishing return, and this means that if you're doing something or you getting something leads to you having pleasure over a period of time, the pleasure you get to have that same level of pleasure, you need to do more of that action or to get more of something that leads to that pleasure, in the sense that the pleasure you get from something reduces over a period of time, and to maintain that same level of pleasure you need to get more of that thing, and that is probably what leads to addiction and some other bad stuff. Let's say I sat down and I wanted to probably study for the next 24 hours, every single minute for the next 24 hours. And I'm not just studying, I'm studying a particular subject, probably pharmacology. As a medical student, I'll obviously get tired very quickly because I'm just planning to just like waste my time and just frustrate myself sitting down for 24 hours, not doing any other thing and just studying pharmacology. Obviously, that's probably not possible. And this is why generally in my life, I love to have variety in the sense that I'm studying for a particular period of time. After that, I go and discuss with my close friend, have time with my close friend. After that, I have time with Evelyn, obviously the person, and it's interesting, or play game and go out or all of that. The truth is that probably when I sit down and start studying, probably it's a new topic in pharmacology or an interesting course, I'm happy to start studying, and after a period of time, probably I'm tired. Immediately I see Evelyn, I get a surge of happiness, or trying to have a conversation with her actually brings me a source of happiness that creates a new level of serotonin in my body. I don't know if you understand. And also probably even leaving that conversation, just grabbing the pad and maybe getting ready to actually play a game also leads to a surge of serotonin, which actually keeps my mood fairly stable throughout the day. And I don't just encourage variety in generally in my life. Also, I try to encourage variety even in the specific things I'm doing, in the studying, in the conversation and everything. So when I'm studying, I don't just sit down and study one book for the next 6 hours. I'll obviously get tired. And so what I do is, the next 1 hour I'm probably studying a school material given to us to study for a particular topic. The next hour I'm watching an interesting video on YouTube, someone explaining it differently from a different perspective. The next hour I'm probably answering questions from the school site, answering questions anywhere I can get questions. And that way it gives the brain this kind of vibe that, oh, soon there's going to be a change. So even if you're getting tired doing this stuff, soon you're going to do something new, and it's going to be interesting to the brain, because the brain loves to make new neural networks and just have a new thing to be doing. And this way will probably not eventually end up in having burnout, or it will reduce the rate at which we have burnout in our life. The second way to actually avoid burnout is to always have a purpose for doing something, and not just have the purpose, always remind yourself of the purpose for which you're actually doing something. And personally for me, I always try to remind myself why I actually started this channel. I loved making researches, I loved reading new stuff, I loved learning new stuff, and not just that, I loved sharing it with you guys. And this is why I also love editing videos. I love making the videos, shooting from different angles. Those things just fascinate me. And this is why most time I just try to remind myself these reasons, and this gives me a reason to also make another video, and just kind of gives me the vibe, or gives me what I need to keep on moving in the journey. And also, this doesn't just apply to the YouTube life, this also applies to my medical school life. And this is why I watch day in the life of a resident, day in the life of other medical students, day in the life of doctors, how to write exams, how some operations are performed. And this actually gives my brain the vibe like, oh, like this is actually, it reminds my brain of how beautiful it is what I'm doing. Like it's just interesting, it's just fascinating. And this is what I encourage everyone to do, because when you're doing something and probably you might actually have a purpose to start doing something, having a purpose helps us to start a journey. But if you don't remind yourself of the purpose, or remind yourself of why you actually started, by the time you get to the center of the journey, or while moving in the journey, you might get tired. And that's why it's very important for us to always remind ourselves of the reason why we actually even started this journey in the first place. The third way to actually avoid burnout is to have fun while you're doing something. And I know I say this a lot of times, because it's actually important to always have fun, to always enjoy whatever you're doing at any particular point in time. There's this funny joke that actually was going around, or I was seeing around, that you probably just decided to clean the house, or clean the kitchen, or wash the dishes or something, and as you're about to start doing it, your mom calls you and says, oh, go and do the dishes. Suddenly you don't feel like doing it anymore, because the brain actually loves to have fun. The brain would love to do the task by itself, to have fun doing the task. But once the situation looks like you're being forced to do what you're doing, it suddenly loses its pleasure, it suddenly loses its vibe, and we just don't want to do it anymore. And so it's important for us, okay, not to tell your mom, not to tell you not to wash the dishes, not to tell you to wash the dishes. But now you grab the joke. I'm trying to say it's important for us to always have fun while we're doing whatever we're doing. Some people will be like, oh, I'm going to enjoy after the exams. We're going to enjoy after the exams. We're going to enjoy when we all become doctors. But why can't we also have some level of enjoyment now while we're going through the journey? Why can't we have some level of fun while going through the process of learning whatever we're learning? Lastly, rest. This rest can never be overemphasized. Rest is just the goat, because this is one of the best ways to avoid stress, one of the best ways to avoid burnout, one of the best ways to avoid being in a rut. And it's interesting because the concept of rest has actually been misunderstood by people over the years. We all feel like we are going to rest at the end of the journey. We are going to rest when we are done achieving our goals. Yes, the big part of the rest should come after you've achieved the goal. But even while taking the journey or while learning whatever you're learning, you can be having small guided breaks, small guided rest, which will actually refill your brain with the source, refill your brain with the energy, with the zeal, or whatever it is you need to actually keep yourself moving in the journey. So it's important for us to always have guided rest when we're in the journey. And guided because you are in the journey of you're in a process, so you shouldn't be too relaxed and decide to take big chunk of rest. So guided short rest can actually avoid stress and burnout, and then you keep the big rest to the end of the journey. In nowadays, what I would love us to take from this is that it's not bad actually to fall into burnout or to be in a rut at some point or to just get tired. It happens to everyone, and personally for me, it's very hard. It's a very hard situation to be in, and I really understand if anyone out there is feeling like this at any point in time. But it's important for us to employ these things to actually help prevent the rate at which they happen or reduce the frequency. And also it's important to, as soon as possible, get yourself out of whatever it is, probably the burnout or whatever stress you are into. Have enough rest and get back to doing what you love doing. And that's basically it for this video. I hope you love the video. If you enjoyed the video and you've learned something, please don't forget to drop a like to the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share to your friends, share around to anyone you feel might need or learn something from this video. So that's been it. That's all for this video. Catch you guys very soon on the next one. And that's all. Peace.